Welcome. I hope you're doing good. This is me, Ramay. Welcome to Outing Journal. I'm testing my new camera. Right now I'm in 4K MOV at 200 megabits per second, and then I'm using the Vivo simulation, and then I have dialed down the highlight and shadow to -1, and then I put the sharpness to +2. Right now using the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 lens. You need to be, that's just how good it is. Right now I'm at ISO. The ISO is fluctuation between 1800, shutter speed 30. You need to be the judge how good I am, how good is the simulation, and how good are the colors, and then can it track my face or not. For the tracking and the sensitivity I have put into +5. Is this the best traveling camera or not? Is this the best traveling camera or not? Yeah. I'm confused. I'm confused. I am not sure this is the best traveling camera or not. I need a lightweight, amazing autofocus with IPS. There was only two camera. Technically there was 3 M6 also, Canon M6 Mark II, but it do not have a physical IPS. It have a electronic IPS, 5-axis electronic, which do quite a good job, to be honest with you. But I went with the Fujifilm S10 because of the Canon M6. Major downside for me was there was no 4K aperture or programmer or shutter speed mode. It was only 4K auto, 4K manual. Unless you wanna shoot full HD, then you have the shutter speed or the aperture mode, the AV mode. Canon, what are you doing? And then one thing I do not like about the modern mirrorless is the EVF. To be honest with you, I just hate the EVF. I could not stand the EVF. To be honest with you, I could not stand the EVF. I just hate them with passion. I do not understand why EVF exists. To be honest with you, why EVF at first place exists. I hate them. A lot of people say we can see our exposure. We can see what you see is what you get. WYSIWYG. Can you see my glasses? Can you see some kind of blue reflection? It's called blue light filter. I paid around, I don't know, $100, something like that, for the blue light protection. Inside have a blue light filter, so my eyes can protect from any kind of digital screen out there. And then the last thing I want is to bring a digital screen, which is a EVF, electronic viewfinder, near my eyes. It's so distracting. Again, EVF have a huge impact on the health. I'm not talking about the flicker sensitivity here, because I know there's a lot of people who are sensitive to flicker. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that EVF, these in modern world, in 21st century, we spend a lot of time using electronic devices. We are glued to our screen, and then even now with photography, I want to use EVF. No, I do not care. I could not see my exposure. I just want OVF. OVF is like a prism. Again, you can say, why not you buy a X Pro 2, 3? The problem is that I call it the fake OVF. What do I mean by fake OVF? Because it do not have a prism, because there is no mirror in the camera, so the OVF cannot work as the regular OVF from the DSLR. So the problem with the X Pro 3 is that the OVF is useless, to be honest with you. The only way to use the X Pro 3 OVF, you have to use some kind of prime, like 35mm will be fine, 80mm will be fine. I'm talking the lens. And so 35mm, I'm talking the full frame equivalent. It will be Fujifilm 23mm or the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 will be fine. But we are using another lens like 50mm or a zoom lens, or a 18-55 or 16-80 or 18-135, any another lens you are using. If you are using on a DSLR, like a zoom lens, you zoom in, the photo will appear zoom. But the problem with X Pro 3 is that when you zoom in, the photo don't appear as zoom. It's useless, to be honest with you. the entire field of view remain the same. Even you're using a zoom lens like 200mm, it will be appear you are appearing from like a Fujifilm 23mm. It's totally useless, because again there's no mirror. It's very hard. Again, I call it a dummy, or Lexus OVF is useless unless you're using prime. The OVF only makes sense on the X100 series, X100V or FC camera, because they have a 35mm 35mm full frame equivalent f.2 prime attached. Then it makes sense. If you're like, I think I make a mistake buying Fujifilm X10 Pro. There's only modern two camera which can record 4K without any crop, is the Canon 90D and then the Nikon D780 and Canon 90D. I think I should went with 90D, or again the 90D problem, there is no 4K aperture or shutter mode. It's much better. I should have spent more and went with Nikon D780. Do I regret my purchase? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm right now not sure. I'm really very much confused. To be honest with you. I mean, I have no idea. Can I decrease my exposure? Let me go to minus. Okay, let me just decrease my exposure a little bit. Yeah, I hope I'm looking nice. I'm looking like a handsome man, I hope so. And then I'm using a Saramonic long microphone. I'll be throwing the link in the description box below. This is the name of this microphone, Saramonic long microphone. A lot of people ask me the model number. This is the model number, Saramonic long microphone. Click that like button. What you are waiting for? Again, this was the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 ISO between 8000 and 1000, ISO auto, white balance auto, autofocus continuous with eyes tracking, and shutter speed 30.